this should be taught to children, how to get whole, how to get centered, how to calm yourself, like literally teaching children that you have everything that you need, exactly what you're saying. So I don't want it to feel like it's a loaded question, and I don't want to get into any conspiracies or anything like that. But why do you feel that this is not being taught to children or adults in general? Like, what are we missing as people or society?
We've been around for 200,000 years, human beings on the planet, right? And fundamentally, the first human being got out of bed on the wrong side. So what we're now having to do is go back into bed, get back to connect, get out of the other side, right? But we just haven't done that. And we are in a process, I think, where there's a lot of pressure on us from the environment, from the politics, from the relationship problems we have, from the health problems we have. We're under a lot of pressure to transform the paradigm. Paradigm that begins with you were conceived whole, you were born whole, you are always whole. Get in touch with it. That's job one. And then everything else flows. But the money is all made on patching up problems but not fixing them. Drugs are perfect. You have to take it every day. It suppresses symptoms. It never fixes anything. So then you sell a lot of pills that way. But what I'm trying to do is I say, well, if I could actually help you to be whole, then you wouldn't need me anymore. And I actually like that. Right? And fundamentally, that wholeness lives in everyone. When you and I and all the people listening and all their friends start to hear a different story and start to act into that different story. That's how it changes. It's one by one. But it's always one by one, and we have to each start with ourselves to find that place again that we lost. That is where the goodies are. And then out of the goodies, it's like, look, if I'm in peace, and I look at the world and I say, oh my God, peace has always been everywhere. But only peace knows that. But if I'm angry, I look at that same world and I say, enemies. Got to be prepared for enemies. And if there aren't any, then I'm going to create some, because I need enemies for my anger. And then I'll live into the world with anger. That's going to create a different world than a world of peace. And if I'm fearful, I'll see danger everywhere. And then I'll create danger. And if I can't create it, then I'll imagine it. And then I'll get anxious. And I'll live into the world in a different way than if I'm in peace. So our state of being is what created the world. And we just didn't do the homework to get to the best state of being. And it's in every one of us. It doesn't matter what the history is, what the background is, what crazy shit we've done. It doesn't matter what it is, what the story is. I had a war, and I had a divorce, and I had pesticide poisoning, and so we all have our stuff. Doesn't matter any of that stuff, because that wholeness is not affected by any of those things. That's what's so cool about it. That it doesn't, no matter whatever happens, that, sometimes they say it this way, my body could be completely wrecked and on its way out. My thinking completely disorganized. My emotions in turmoil. My social world completely dysfunctional. And my natural world a disaster area. And the unconditional love and the unconditional peace that are the core of my being would not be affected the teensiest little bit. All I need to do is take my focus of awareness from where it is in all the junk and bring it back to the quiet place, and it completely changes everything. The reason I have this background, by the way, is to make that point. Over here is the clutter. Over here is the clutter, and over here is the possibility. So here there's nothing, and everything is possible. Here is all kinds of stuff that, and we have both living within us, and they're not mixed up. The clear is always clear, and the cluttered is always cluttered. So the question then becomes, well, if both are in you, Where do you want to live? Now, I can tell you this place over here, right? Unbelievably beautiful. My life is so rich, and has nothing to do with money. My life is so rich just by its nature. And that is not different from how your life is and how every one of your listeners and viewers is, and everybody who's not listening and viewing is. That's just the nature. And it's about time that we came home